Let's talk about the economy. No, seriously, stick with me here, because what's happening right now is unlike anything we've seen before. Don't worry, this is actually wild. You might want to sit down for this one. For decades, America's motto was free markets. The idea that the government should keep its hands off and let the invisible hand of capitalism do its thing. The government's job? Stay out of the way. Let capitalism work, and maybe, just maybe, keep the rivers from catching fire or the economy from totally melting down. But now, the invisible hand is holding a smartphone, and the username is Uncle Sam Hodl 420. Yes, you heard that right. That's right. The US government is buying shares in companies, not just regulating from the sidelines, but actually investing taxpayer money into the market. This isn't a conspiracy theory or some internet rumor. It's a real, documented shift in policy happening right now, and it's making waves across the financial world. The government is using taxpayer money to become a shareholder in key American industries. Think tech, energy, and even healthcare. Imagine your landlord taking your rent and betting it all on a horse named economic stability. You really hope that horse wins because your future might just depend on it. This move rewrites the rules of American capitalism. The referee just put on a jersey and joined the game, blurring the line between umpire and player. Tonight, we'll break down why this is happening, who's making these decisions, and what it could mean for the future of the American economy. We'll look at what it means for national security, and why some experts say it's about more than just money. It's about power and global influence, and how it could change everything from the phone in your pocket to your retirement savings, and even the way you think about your own financial future. Is this a masterstroke for America's future? A bold new strategy to stay ahead? Or the start of a strange new era of state-controlled capitalism? Grab a snack. This is going to be a wild ride. You won't want to miss what comes next. And yes, there will be charts. Only moderately confusing ones, I promise. Let's dive in. So, what's the government actually buying? It's a question that's more important than ever, as public spending shapes the future of the economy and national security. It's not random. They're targeting strategic industries. These are sectors chosen for their importance to the country's long-term strength and resilience. Think semiconductors, AI, biotech, green energy, the stuff that keeps the country running and competitive. These industries are the backbone of modern life, powering everything from smartphones to clean energy grids. The official reason? To keep critical manufacturing and innovation on American soil and avoid supply chain disasters like we saw with microchips. When global supply chains break down, the consequences ripple through the entire economy. By investing directly, the government hopes to de-risk the supply chain and guarantee access to vital tech for everything from the military to the power grid. It's about making sure the country isn't left vulnerable in times of crisis. But it's not just defense. They're also betting on the next generation of innovators, taking stakes in startups and research firms. The goal is to nurture homegrown talent and breakthrough ideas before they go global. The government is acting like a giant venture capital fund, hoping to back the next Google or Tesla. By getting in early, they aim to shape the future of technology and industry. We're talking billions, maybe hundreds of billions, channeled through new agencies like the National Critical Industries Investment Corporation. This is a scale of investment rarely seen outside of wartime or major economic crises. These agencies can buy equity in key companies, shaping the future of American industry. Their decisions could determine which companies become tomorrow's giants. So, if you see a tech stock spike, it might be because Uncle Sam just bought in. Government moves can send shockwaves through the markets, changing fortunes overnight. The scale is massive, and the stakes are even bigger. The choices made today could define America's economic landscape for decades to come. Welcome to the era of government as investor. The game has changed, and everyone's watching to see what's next. The government's main justification? National security. It's the phrase you'll hear over and over again, echoing through press conferences and policy briefings. It's become the catch-all reason for bold new moves in the tech world. In the 21st century, economic security is national security. The two are now inseparable, woven together by global markets and digital infrastructure. If the economy falters, so does the nation's strength. Wars might be fought with chips and code, not tanks. The battlefield has shifted from muddy trenches to glowing screens and humming servers, where a single line of code can be as powerful as a missile. Whoever controls the tech supply chain holds the power. From raw materials to finished products, every link in the chain matters, and disruptions can ripple across the globe. The military runs on advanced electronics. If rivals control the chips, that's a huge vulnerability. Imagine a world where your defense systems depend on someone else's technology. By owning stakes in domestic tech, the government can steer production and guarantee supply for defense. It's about having a direct hand in the future of innovation and security. But national security now covers everything from AI to biotech, technologies that can help or harm depending on who controls them. The stakes are higher than ever, with breakthroughs happening at lightning speed. The government wants a seat at the table, or even on the board, to keep an eye on these powerful tools. It's about oversight, influence, and making sure the nation's interests come first. This blurs the line between private companies and government assets. The distinction between public and private is fading, replaced by a new kind of partnership. CEOs now answer not just to investors, but to federal representatives with a security agenda. Their decisions are shaped by more than just profit. They're about protecting the nation. It's a bold, proactive approach, but it raises big questions about control and influence. Who really calls the shots when government and business are this closely linked? America's private sector just got a new, very powerful partner. The future of business and national security is now more intertwined than ever before. Let's be real. America is borrowing from China's playbook. For years, we criticized China's state capitalism, government-directed investment, state-owned banks, and blurred lines between party and business. Now, the US is doing a democratic remix, becoming a minority shareholder in strategic industries, not outright owner. The goal: steer the economy toward national objectives and win the tech race. It's a big admission that hands-off capitalism might not cut it in a world where rivals play by different rules. The hope? Boost innovation and security without sacrificing market competition or freedom. But it's a tightrope walk. Can we use these tools without sliding into authoritarian habits? When the government invests, does it get a say in company policy, privacy, or even speech? We're in uncharted territory, copying China's economic homework, just hoping we don't copy the social credit system too. Adam Smith's invisible hand was supposed to guide the market, free from government interference. Now the government is shaking that hand and giving it a business card. This is a fundamental shift. The state is no longer just the umpire, but a player coach. When the government picks winners by investing, it distorts competition. Startups now compete not just with each other, but with companies backed by the US Treasury. This could create a two-tiered market: government favorites and everyone else. The more the government invests, the more companies will lobby to get on its list. Political connections could become more valuable than innovation, a recipe for crony capitalism. The invisible hand is at risk of becoming the well-connected hand. This isn't the first time the US government has shaped the economy. From Hamilton's tariffs to the Transcontinental Railroad to World War II's war production and the space race, public-private partnerships built America. Even the internet started as a government project. The myth of pure free markets ignores this history. What's new now is the method. The government isn't just a customer or funder, it's an owner. Being a shareholder means having a legal say in how companies are run. It's the difference between ordering a pizza and owning a slice of the pizzeria. In the past, government influence was indirect. Now, it's direct and potentially much more entangled. This new relationship could reshape entire industries. The stakes and the risks are higher than ever. What does this mean for you and your money? If it works, we could see more jobs, stronger industries, and maybe even taxpayer profits funding public services. The government could share in the upside of American innovation, not just tax it. But if the government bets wrong, your tax dollars could vanish in failed ventures. Political motives could drive investments, risking waste and corruption. For investors, the market just got unpredictable. Stock prices may depend more on politics than profits. A change in administration could swing investment strategy, causing market chaos. Your 401k could become a political football. The government's presence could crowd out private investors, distorting prices and making retirement planning riskier. Welcome to the new, uncertain world of investing. Where does this end? The biggest risk is cronyism. Success could depend on political connections, not innovation. Today, investments target tech and energy. But what if strategic expands to media, social platforms, or news? The temptation for government overreach is real. America, once the champion of free markets, is now leading a shift towards state-led economies. This could undermine our credibility abroad and fuel global protectionism. Is this a temporary fix or a permanent change? The new agencies aren't designed to be short-term. We may be witnessing the birth of a hybrid economic model, private enterprise with public direction. The long-term consequences? No one really knows. So here we are. America, the free market icon, is now a major investor. It's a response to global competition and supply chain fears, a new grand experiment. The upside? A secure, innovative economy where the public shares in the rewards. The downside? Cronyism, stifled innovation, and a market warped by government power. There are no easy answers, just tough trade-offs. How much freedom are we willing to sacrifice for security? The outcome depends on transparency, accountability, and strict rules to prevent abuse. The rulebook is being rewritten before our eyes. The invisible hand now has a very visible partner. Whether this leads to prosperity or cautionary tale, that's the story of our time.